Hello, and welcome to Dorsey's International Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, as well as your guide, Fred Dorsey. Please be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to @Dorsey's Realty on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. And you can even subscribe to our newsletter, which can be found on the web at dorseysrealty.com. Hello, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about how to distribute probate property amongst heirs in Maryland. When a loved one passes away, the process of distributing their asset can be complex and emotionally challenged, particularly when there's real property involved. In Maryland, the probate process governs how deceased assets are transferred to their heirs or beneficiaries. Understanding the steps of distributing probate property amongst heirs in Maryland can help you navigate this process more effectively and ensure a fair outcome. What is probate in Maryland? Probate is the legal process of selling a deceased person's estate. It includes identifying value and distributing assets according to their will, or if no will exists. Maryland intestate succession laws. Probate applies to assets solely in the decedent's name or not otherwise directed to a beneficiary through other means, such as a trust or joint ownership. In Maryland, probate is handled by the Orphans Court in the county where the decedent resided, and a personal representative appointed by the court oversees the process. We're going to dive into a few steps. Step number 1. Determine if the property is probate or non-probate. Not all assets must go through probate. For instance, property held in joint tenancy or with a designated beneficiary may pass directly to the named individual. To distribute probate property, it's essential first to confirm if the property requires probate proceedings. The personal representative, often named in the will, is responsible for gathering and categorizing assets, including real estate, bank accounts, and personal belongings. Step number 2. Value the probate property. Once the PR identifies probate property, the next step is to have it appraised and valued. Maryland requires an inventory of the deceased assets, including real estate, which may need an appraisal to determine if it's fair market value. This value helps establish the estate's overall worth, which is crucial for distributing assets equally amongst heirs. Step number 3. Address any debts or liabilities. Before distributing assets, Maryland law requires the estate to settle any debts, taxes, or other liabilities. This includes costs like outstanding mortgages, credit card debts, funeral expenses. The PR must use estate funds to pay these debts, which can sometimes reduce the value of the estate, a value for distribution. Heirs may also decide to sell real estate if the estate lacks enough liquid funds to pay creditors. Step number 4. Follow the will's instructions. If a decedent left a will, the distribution of the probate property will follow the terms outlined within it. The will may specify the structure with course cited. Step number 5. Distribution by in-state succession when there is no will. If no will exists, Maryland in-state succession laws dictate how the estate is divided. Here's a general breakdown of how in-state succession works in Maryland. Spouse and minor children. If the descendant leaves behind a spouse or minor children, the spouse receives half the estate and the children receive the other half. Spouse and adult children. If there's a spouse and adult children, the spouse receives the first $15,000 of the estate and a half of the remaining balance, while the adult child shares the remainder. Only spouse. If there's no surviving children and parents, the spouse inherits the entire estate. Only children. If there's no surviving spouse, the children inherit everything equally. Other heirs. If no immediate family members, the estate may go to extended family such as siblings or parents. These laws provide a default method of distribution when there's no will, ensuring that the descendants' closest relatives inherit their property. Steps number 6. Petitioning the court for probate distribution. For large and complex estates, the PR may need court approval to distribute probate property. The PR can petition the court listing each asset, its designated heir, and the proposed division. The court will then review the petition and either approve or make adjustments to ensure compliance with Maryland law. Step number 7. Transfer ownership and title. After court approval, the PR can formally transfer the property to the designated heirs for real estate that involves updating the property title and recording the transfer within county law's record of office. Heirs should consult with a real estate attorney or title company to finalize the transfer, ensuring property legal ownership. Common challenges in distributing probate property. Disputes among heirs can arise, especially in the absence of a will or clear instructions. Here are some common issues that may delay a complicated distribution. Disagreements over selling the property. If the estates include real property and one of the heirs wants to sell while another one wants to keep it, disagreements can arise. The PR court may need to mediate these disputes. Valuation disputes. Heirs may dispute the appraised value of the property, particularly if it impacts the division of the assets. Obtaining multiple appraisals that can help resolve these issues. Outstanding debts. If the estate has significant debts, heirs may receive less than expected. Heirs may also have to sell a property to cover these debts, which can affect the distribution plan. And as we wrap up, with conclusion, working with professionals for a smooth probate process. Navigating probate can be complex, especially when real estate is involved. Consulting with an experienced probate attorney, real estate broker, and a financial advisor may make the process smoother for all involved. Attorney can guide the PR in adhering to Maryland's probate laws, while a real estate professional can help determine a property's fair market value, handle sales and estate, and assist with title transfer. Understanding the probate process in Maryland is crucial for anyone involved in selling a loved one's estate. By following these steps outlined above and seeking professional guidance when needed, you can ensure a fair and lawful distribution of property amongst heirs. For additional support or discuss how Dorsey Realty can help in probate property matters, feel free to reach out to us. Dorsey's Real Estate Disclaimer. This information was provided by Dorsey's Realty is just for general information purposes only and does not constitute legal, financial, or tax advice. We recommend consulting with a qualified estate planner or probate attorney before making any decisions related to estate or probate matter. Dorsey's Realty makes no representations or warranties about the completeness, accuracy, reliability, suitability, or availability of this information. Use or reliance on this information at your own risk. Thanks for listening to another episode of Dorsey's International Real Estate Podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Stay connected off the show by visiting Dorsey'sRealty.com. Local expertise, global presence. Your resource for all things probate, estate, and trust in the title.